Hi, I'm hw2question2. I'm gonna do the question 2 of homework 2. There are a series of noise channels and some input and output. We are given that the probability of x1 input x1 equals 0 equals 0.2, and the probability of x1 equals 1 equals 0.8. And the probability that xk plus 1 equals 0 when xk equals 0, which means the output equals 0 when the input equals 0. The probability is 0.6. And like this, the probability of the input is 0 and the output is 1 equals 0.4. The probability from 1 to 0 equals 0.3. The probability of from 1 to 1 equals 0.7. Let's see the question. The first part is to find the probability that x2 equals 1. You can find that probability of x2 equals 1. There are two conditions. Is x2 equals 1 when x1 equals 0, and x2 equals 1 when x1 equals 1, 2. The first part is from the input is 0, but we get the output equals 1. We can check the probability is from 0 to 1 is 0.4 times the probability of x1 equals 0, which is 0.2. Then plus the probability from 1 to 1, which is 0.7 times the probability of x1 equals 1, which is 0.8. So that we get the result is 0.64. The second part is to find the probability of x3 equals 1. There are also two conditions. The first one is x3 equals 1 when x2 equals 0. And plus the probability of x3 equals 1 when x2 equals 1, 2. So times x2 equals 1's probability. As for the probability of x2 equals 1 and x2 equals 2, are already calculated in the first part, so that we get the probability of x3 equals 1 equals from 0 to 1, which is 0 to 1 is 0.4 times times 1 minus the probability of x2 equals 1, which is 0.64, and plus the probability from 1 to 1, which is 0.7, and times 0.64. We can get the result is 0.592. That's the third part, is to find the probability that x1 equals 0 when x3 equals 1. We can easily get equation probability x3 equals 1 over probability x3 equals 1, which is probability x3 equals 1 when x1 equals 0 times the probability of x1 equals 0 over probability of x3 equals 1. Which is 0.6 times 0.4 plus 0.4 times 0.7, then times the probability of x1 equals 0, which is 0.2, divided by 0.592. We get in part 2. The result is around 0.176. Let's see the last part. We need to find the probability of xn equals 0, where n is infinite. Infinity. We can suppose that the probability of xn minus 1 equals 0 equals a. Then we, so that the probability that xn minus 1 equals 1 will be 1 minus a, because n is infinite. That the probability of xn equals 0 will be same as probability of xn minus 1 equals 0, which is a. And we can get the probability of xn equals 0 from the probability of xn minus 1. There are also two conditions. The first one is xn minus 1 equals 0. The second one is x minus 1 equals 1. From 0 to 0, the probability will be 0.6, and the probability that xn minus 1 equals 0 will be a, plus the probability from 1 to 0 will be 0.3 times 1 minus a, which is 0.3 plus 0.3 times a. So now we have the equation which equals a. We can get a is 3 over 7, so that the result is infinity. Probability xn equals 0 will be 3 over 7.